Elkins presents the Elkins Accounting Hour with your host, Chad Elkins.
All right. Well, happy Sunday, everybody. I think this may be the first time I've ever done a stream on a Sunday and this early. And I've got to say, it's kind of nice. How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. Doing well. How are you?
No complaints, except maybe slightly hungover a little bit. But, we won't talk about that.
Yeah, man. I had my first beers this week with some potential clients, and I think we were just talking about some of the reps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they drop money on stuff like that. So I haven't drank in probably a year, and had a beer or two this week, which was nice. Wasn't too bad.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Scott and I have been emailing, and he'll tell you about everything that's going on. But this was a great time for me to stream because I'm heading to New Mexico to visit my parents on Tuesday. So I was like, you know what? Why don't we just hang out on a Sunday morning? I guess it's still morning where you are. Yeah.
Yep. 10 a.m. I ditched the house. I'm downtown right now at Savaya Coffee. It's a local spot. They have some apartment complexes that throw the coffee shops downstairs, and and they're in little shopping centers around. But it's a good little spot. Not too bad. Enjoying it. It's quiet.
Nice and quiet. Yeah.
Yeah. So
wow. Well, guys, Scott and I are just gonna talk about what he's got going on. But if you have any questions about for us about anything, just throw them in there. Scott, why don't you? I think most people probably are going to know your story here, just because this is the fifth time that we're doing this, and I linked the other four in the description. But catch everybody up who doesn't know.
Okay, so DRP is. So I started out. I had listened to Chad and Aaron Clary, and had got the business going. Was pretty successful with it. Sold a portion of it, and then tried to warm hand off most of the other clients. Went into the IRS, started on the criminal side, then took a civil position, and then DRP happened. And there were a handful of us last year that said if it happens, because Elon Musk was talking about a 2-year kind of paid bridge, but they can only pay so much because of what they're currently funded. So they gave us the DRP. I've been on DRP now for 5 months, 4.5 months, almost.
That stands for Deferred Retirement Program, right?
Deferred Resignation.
Resignation, yeah.
We got paid to go home, and they said you could double dip, go get another job, figure out your life, and move on.
That's amazing.
And so here we are. And what I'll do is I sent you the email. All of us got the opportunity to rescind the DRP and DRP agreement email Friday. And so you'd basically, similar to the Doge email where you just said resign. This one was you either put interested or don't reply at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I saw an article about that, and Scott sent me that email, like half an hour ago or 45 minutes ago. And my immediate thought, which we already talked about backstage, I was thinking, well, now maybe Scott's going to just rush back in there and claim his old job. But no, tell us about what you've been doing.
So for the last month, I've been trying to get the startup going again, opening up a firm, Autarky Tax and Accounting, here locally. And so that's you start out with, forming your LLC locally, you get your EIN, then you run through the insurance part. But after the EIN, I had to do the EFIN application. So the EFIN application is where you get your ERO, your electronic filing identification number, and then you get permission after a suitability check and a background check to be a licensed, basically prepare an e-filer. At that point, they do the background check, make sure you're compliant, you don't have any outstanding bills above a certain threshold. I believe you can be on a payment plan depending on your income levels. But beyond that, they make sure you're suitable to be able to run a practice. Once that approved, man, I was full bore. I got the website up. Yeah, off and running. What I'm doing differently this time is rather than running payroll internally, it's going to be outsourced. Going to run through
That's
ADP,
what I do. Yep.
or I'm going to train them with Patriot accounting and payroll, so they can run it internally if they're on a lower budget.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll bring them on the partnership and then pass through the savings, and they can just have that.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I want to tell these guys real quick what ADP does, and I'm sure the other
mhm,
payroll providers do it. I'd never wanted to offer payroll as part of my services because it's not that it's super difficult to do. I mean, you get the software. My thing was if something goes wrong, it is such a pain in the ass to rectify it because you have to file quarterly reports, quarterly payroll reports and year-end reports. And in Illinois, there's an unemployment aspect. And I'm telling you, all it takes is one little thing to go wrong, and it's just like a snowball of pain in the ass things you have to do to get it caught up. So what Scott and I do is we partner up with ADP, the big payroll company. They handle all of that stuff, and we actually get what's it called, the referral program, or
there's a referral program, but if you're a lawyer, a CPA enrolled agent, you can get the
shared revenue plan,
shared
right?
revenue plan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it is. And so I forget what the percentage is, but essentially you set up your own passive income stream each quarter with the clients that you sign up with ADP. So it's
right.
wonderful. I've gotten some good quarterly remittances from that the last 8-9 years.
For sure. And they might be, so not just to get the revenue share on that, but they also come in and they'll bring the insurance plans under one
Yep,
umbrella. And so it's a one point of contact and it's more efficient for these
definitely.
companies. So their workers' compensation can usually be scaled down,
Hmm.
where they're able to save money there. So they might be charged more, $10 a month more, but they're going to save $5,000 a year on workers' compensation. Then they
Right.
have the insurance as a PEO, HR, basically an HR representative. And so you're getting the scale of ADP under the medical insurance and anything else like a retirement plan
Yep.
or life insurance for key men, things like that. So it's much more efficient for companies who can afford it and need to offer those additional benefits. And
Yep.
then on the liability side, let's just say I sued Chad Elkins. Well, I'm not suing Chad Elkins. I'm suing ADP now
Yep.
because the PEO model and how they operate.
The other thing is they do offer retirement plans. So some of my clients, they just don't want to deal with that sort of thing. And I say, well, if you're already with ADP for payroll, let's sign you up for either a SEP IRA or maybe a solo
Mm-hmm.
401k or something. So that's been going well. I mean, I don't want to turn this into like an advertisement for ADP, but I have to say I've been very satisfied with the partnership since I started.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing that I've been able to learn is that their largest Intuit is their largest one of their largest
Yep.
companies,
Yep.
and they don't even use their own product. And the
Right.
rumor has on the street right now by 28, they're getting rid of QBO payroll.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to affect some people. Mm.
So be
Yeah.
aware. It's just interesting how Intuit doesn't even use their own product for their own payroll. They could probably save a ton of money on that side of it, doing it for free, but they still choose to use a company like ADP because of
ADP. Yeah.
the scalability.
Crazy. Well,
Yeah.
Scott, so why don't we start with you're getting back on the horse, you're kind of starting from scratch again. We emailed about this, but I get this question. I want people to hear it. What software did you decide to go with?
Okay, so if you go to my website, autarkyta.com,
Oh, let me
and
get that up.
yeah,
Say it again.
autarkyta.com.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm going to share
Uh,
it on the screen real quick.
yeah, yeah. So I
Get in
threw
touch.
down, I priced everything. If you go down to the bottom, I'll kind of run through.
All the way at the bottom?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. See the software all the way down? So I just kind of
Patriot software. Okay.
Patriot, Zero, ADP, Crosslink into it. So Crosslink Professional Tax Solutions is what I use. It's what I used before. I
Mm-hmm.
priced Lacert. They wanted like 11K for a license. I've seen some of the other software products, and they're kind of clunky. Crosslink went to cloud-based now, so everything's a cloud login. You go to the website, you log in, and you have your drop down for 1040s, 1065s, 1041s, 990s, 1120, 1120s. It's very efficient.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, so it's a good software, man. I had a good opportunity to learn it very well. So rather than rip off the Band-Aid and go somewhere else, I went with them. So
You see, I didn't look at this part. Did you do all this on your own? Because this is great.
So I went through Get Netset. It was a affordable way to kind of take one of their templates and then send them what you wanted. You can kind of like go through and label and link what you want. I have Square linked in there if you go to make payment. And then the cool part, I guess I'll add to Crosslink, kind of marketing for them, right?
Yeah.
If you go back to the website and go under portal, go to upload information. So this is what's called TaxPass.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a secure way for any PII information that you need to upload securely from your phone or from your computer. You set up your account, and what it does is you enter your birthday, your social security number, all your dependents, all the key information you need for a return, right? And you submit it, and it drops into the software, and it creates a secure way versus, hey, write down everyone's info, upload it to share file, and then hope someone doesn't steal it out of your email or off your phone. So this is a really secure way. Yeah. So this is kind of the TaxPass app, and where you sign up for that and put your personal info.
I'll tell you what I really like is this, where they can just pay you like this via Square, because that's one of the pain points I have is I'll be finished with everything. I mostly deal with Venmo and Zelle and some PayPal, and it's a lot more efficient to do it this way, where this is how you pay me. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to implement that.
So Crosslink, they partner with PayJunction. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of their payment plan. Dude, what a pain in the ass they are. PayJunction sucks.
PayJunction.
Yeah, it's integrated. So if I go into my software, I put in the API address, and I can run my invoices right out of the software. So I send the invoice out of the software. I hit transmit. Once the invoice pays, it'll kick the return loose.
See, that's perfect, because that's not the system I have set up, but I really want to get something like that done, because I don't want them returning paperwork to me until they've paid. And sometimes that's a little like pulling teeth. So
yeah, I won't release the return until otherwise. So, and then part of the Get Netset integration was to kind of jointly manage a Facebook account.
Looks like it.
And so they kick out these little newsletters off to the right there. And then once I start getting more into the social media stuff, I'll end up posting, little articles, 179 on qualified improvement property. Chad Elkins hour just posted a cool, I can drop all that in there, and then I'll do the same thing on X. And then I just got a LinkedIn set up this week. So trying to get that aspect of the business done differently this time.
So how did you've got Las Cruces and then El Paso as well. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, so I'm working with iHeartRadio to figure out a radio campaign for the next 3 months in those areas to try and get some marketing that way. I mean, most everything now is remote. I got to drop in the address for the new office on September 1st in here as well, here in Tucson. And that'll be jointly with, it's called Big Realty. They have a real estate firm here locally, and I'll be kind of sitting in their office in Suite B.
That's awesome.
Networking with those guys. So they had a killer rate, man. I couldn't turn it down, just to have the marketing in there and the word of mouth. If they have a tax credit,
That's awesome.
So
1 second here.
Yeah.
Don't want to ignore our wonderful chat. Yeah, you guys. So the reason this is going to be kind of a valuable stream is because a lot of people don't really know where to start, when they're finally ready to go out on their own. And Scott's kind of showing you how he did it.
Yeah,
so
I've done it twice now, so it's
Yeah, exactly.
and I took it on the chin a couple times. When you go out blindly. I think the biggest one is not taking any and everyone. It's hard to when you need. Yeah, it's your primary source of income, but when you're first coming on, I mean, it's the needy client that calls you 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen during startups.
Yeah.
So expectations management with that, I mean, we have to understand as practitioners during a startup, they're going to be asking a ton of questions. But once it gets rolling, if it's a constant phone call, then you're going to be killing your own time.
Yeah. I basically, you may do this too, Scott, but if they have a few questions over email, something really quick, even though there's no quick questions, I hate that phrase. You know what? That's okay. I'll answer a few. But this happened to me just this past week. If there's somebody who's like constantly poking at me, even if it's a startup, and I understand that, but if you're constantly peppering me every other day with like, what about this? What about this? Finally, I'm like, listen, man, if you can't keep doing this, we're going to have to set up a consultation. My hourly rate is X. We'll do it over Zoom, and here are the available times. That will either get them to shut up and go away, or they'll start paying you as it should be. Yeah.
I
So
had I was going to say, I
yeah.
had a pretty good client like that where it was to the point. I mean, I'm making $5,000 a year on returns because they have multiple businesses, but every 15 minutes it was, what's the state of Arizona think about photography and video?
Yeah.
What does, what about this? And what about this write-off? If I buy a car, is it considered business? Is it? So yeah, for sure, man. It can, and there's previous clients that are like that, where it's like, I'm not sure I want you back. Right. And vice versa. I'm sure they're just like, well, last time you cut this sling and, dropped us. So I don't want to go back to you. Well, cool. It's
Every
98% of them though, but
Yeah.
98% of them have had horrible interactions with the new CPAs, enrolled agents, accounting firms. So I'm picking up a lot of old business selectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little cliche, but a good client service is kind of how you differentiate yourself. And it mostly is about response time. Don't let an email sit there for, weeks at a time, because that's a common complaint I hear from people that are working with boomers or others that are used to the more old school way. But like I said, don't let people act like, this is a bad expression. Don't act like your friend. I don't want them thinking I'm their friend, and they can just hit me up whenever they want to. I've got friends as clients, but some people are just getting a little too comfortable messaging me whenever they have some kind of lame question.
Yeah, everything's a fire.
Exactly. There's no such thing as a tax emergency. There really isn't. So that's good, man. So you did sign some office space, and you will see some people in person, right? Is that what
I
you're
will.
saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw an address down, and then if they need to come in, like some of the clients that are doing the cost segregations, have one that behavioral health industry. You're familiar with the counselors and all that.
That's my niche.
Yeah. So I had a very client come back, but they purchased the building in January, and they're looking at a cost segregation.
Yeah.
We both owed significant amounts of money last year, and nobody really helped them plan. They didn't really have any. They were already leasing the building. The medical doctor retired, and then they got a pretty good deal on the building.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still fully virtual. I mean, I did have office space, but my thing is, I mean, this. I'm a Chicago, my brand is all up in Chicago. Problem is I'm never in Chicago now. So, people contact me and I just say, look, I'm fully virtual. We can talk over Zoom. Here's my online secure portal that you can upload, secure documents. I'll send you a link. So it's working out pretty well. I guess I have COVID to thank for that in a way, because that's where it kind of just became, hey, we're just fully virtual now.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you probably will. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, for me, it was such a fair price. The opportunity to sit in there with the real estate agents, the commercial real estate agents, and then their broker is going to be business for me. And then half the office is going to be a podcast area. So I'm going to set up the corner. with a high chair and desk and all that stuff. And
You start doing some streams, some podcasts?
I'm going to, yeah. So I got to get the channel set up. Google
Oh,
makes you wait
man.
30 days before you get your domain to start doing it. So
Well, just let me know, man. You could join the club, you know?
yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well, Scott, you also have, I mean, you've got a family, you've got kids. So I think it just makes sense to get out of the house, to have some place to just work when you need to, right?
Yeah, this morning the wife's like, "I'll get the kids out." I'm like, "Nope, this place is a mess. Like, I'm not going through this. I'll just take off." She's like, "Okay, cool." So
Good plan. Yeah.
yeah, man. And yeah, like you said, I want home to be home. It's hard to, at times you're there all day, to really come home and decompress.
Yeah. I got to admit, so I have a home office here down in Texas, and that is a problem because I can't really separate, relaxing and being at home from the office here sometimes. So I'm still working on that 11 years later.
Right. I mean, I'm going to make it to the point where, I don't know, I either have to come home and deal with the family and then go back to the office to work so I don't work at home. Because last time I was working all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So if it's there, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to eliminate the 2 screens. I'll have an emergency, like, hey, I can get a return out real quick if I need to. But
Yeah.
I'll set it up where it's just like the kids' desk to do their homework versus a 3-screen horseshoe desk with, our printer. That's all going to move to the office.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Home front. Yeah, I've been on my own for about a little over 11 years now. So I don't know. I don't know if I've seen it all at this point, but I kind of feel like I know the lay of the land and what works and what doesn't work. And you guys have heard me talk about it on this channel, my perspective on all of this stuff. Well, Scott, how many clients are you up to now?
Ooh, about 11 businesses. I mean, it's been 2
Right.
weeks since I've my EFIN. I couldn't do anything until that EFIN went live.
Right. You have to get everything reset up because you ended up just closing the previous business.
Correct.
Right?
And I killed the EFIN when I went back in. Yeah. So that way it wouldn't be stolen and everything else. So that's typically what they recommend is if you're not going to use it, kill it. So I killed it and then I had to go back in there. But because you're a licensed practitioner, either CPA, a lawyer, or an EA, the background is quick. And if you previously had an EFIN, they approve it in like a week. Everyone was saying, "Oh, it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks." It came back in like 10 days.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now you are just about done. You're an EA. We've talked about this in several other streams, but you are almost done with the CPA, right? You just have one more test.
One more to go. So
yeah.
Yep.
Which one was it again?
FAR.
Oh yeah, that's the meaty. FAR.
Yep. It's probably the smallest. I think it's the smallest book.
Oh, has it?
But at the same time, it's dense because you're doing leases and amortization with capital versus operational and
coupon bonds. They had some governmental accounting
in there. Yeah. So it's pretty wild.
I took FAR. It was my second exam, and this was in 2011. Maybe it's changed, but that was actually the thickest Becker book. Like that one had the most info.
Dude, audit's pretty.
Audit.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated audit. God. I hated it. Hate it. There's no math.
It's all subjective because there's 2 right answers, but one's more right.
And I can't stand that. It's like we're not supposed to be lawyers here. There's come on.
Yeah.
So when are you taking that?
Coming up in probably about the next 30 days. So that way I can get signed off and drop that on the profile as well. So
yeah, you've been studying.
Yeah. It's rough, but I found that the smaller, shorter increments, the 90 minutes, beyond that, it's just overkill.
Yeah. You'll feel good when you never have to look at that stuff ever again. And I would say of what I studied for the CPA exam, I think maybe 10% of it was applicable to what I do.
Right.
It's just, So,
I was going to ask you, man, with your behavioral health clients, do they own their own buildings? Like, it's a big trend right now where people
No,
are actually buying these commercial real estate areas
it's
because they're
interesting.
cheap. Yeah, they were vacated for so long here in the Southwest that now you can get a pretty good deal with people retiring or closing down their business. They just want to liquidate and get the hell out.
This is what, so all of mine are in Chicago, which, I mean, while it's not the most oppressive, like, cost of living city in the country, like, they're not buying any buildings to put their businesses in. In
Yeah.
fact, a lot of them are fully virtual because they can do telehealth. This is ever since COVID, where
Right.
insurance will cover them. And yeah, so a lot of them are just doing it out of their houses, or I
Mhm.
shouldn't even say houses, their apartments in a lot of cases.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, most of them are just solo-owned S corps, which I like because that's really not that hard to do in
No,
terms
they're
of,
slam dunk.
yeah, so that's kind of what I try to go for.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Mhm.
cool. What
Um, mhm.
you said you've kind of willed your practice back a little bit?
Yeah, every year I try to cull. I do it a little differently, Scott, because
Mm,
I went into this never wanting to create an empire and, start
yeah.
hiring people to do all this and I only review. I kind of just wanted to do it for myself. And yes, it gets stressful at times, but yeah, I pretty much pick, how can I describe this? I pretty much pick an amount of money I want to make for the year.
Yeah.
I'd like to make this. And so I do my analysis on the fees that I charge my current clients. I'll bring on maybe another 10 to 15 and they'll,
Mm.
be paying higher rates. I mean, look at what's been going on the last
Oh
few
yeah.
years. And anybody who was bothering me or who I just don't like, or her just isn't willing to pay the higher rates, that no, we have to offer high rates now, Scott. I mean, the
Yeah.
amount of changes that there's been, inflation, the tax software that we pay for is not cheap. So yeah, I just call kind of the annoying ones and the cheap ones for the most part.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um
pretty wild, man. Just that, I mean, I would say the cost to get a practice now, between the software, the insurance, I mean, unless you're gonna, your market and people that can push business to you. I mean,
mhm.
you're in a black hole. You have to find a way to get that get
Yeah.
someone to feed you, right? You can't just magically say, "Hey, I'm Fred the EA, Fred the CPA," and then expect
You're
people
ab-
to know that you're out there.
no, you're absolutely right. And this is why I've talked about how it's a good idea to niche. I mean, in your first business, you were kind of niched, right? Was it medical? I
I
can't
had
remember.
medical, and
Yeah.
I'm still kind of going down that rabbit hole. And restaurants,
Restaurants,
ton of
right?
restaurants, man,
Yeah.
and they're needy, man, because it's just a volatile industry. Hey, we're gonna
Mhm.
do a build out, or hey, 10 of the 25 employees quit because they're all friends, and one person quit, and so the other 9 decided to follow. But I think the partnership with ADP has been great. I've been going around with them. I had that broker dealer last time. I'm not doing that again. However, the other members of those broker dealers, I'm partnering with them
Mhm.
to kind of send out, hey, these deadlines are coming up. If you still haven't filed or have had a bad experience with your current CPA, EA, or tax preparer, give us a call and we'll
Mhm.
try to. So there's small stuff you can do like that.
Yeah.
But if anyone else is on here, try to get those partnerships. So like I
Yes.
partnered with ADP. I'm not sure if you've heard of the company RE Cost Segregation. It's
No?
another.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it was one of, I saw KBMG, not to be mistaken for the large KPMG.
KPMG. Yeah.
Yeah, but they are a cost segregation company here in the United States. Very reputable, but they're the only ones I ever saw in audit.
Hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
and RE Cost Segregation, I went through like a whole interview process with them. But I partnered with them. If you go back to the website,
Yeah,
the
I'm there.
cost segregation calculator under resources.
Resources. Oh,
Yeah,
resources.
cost
Cost
segregation.
segregation calculator.
All right,
Oh, wow.
there you go.
This is awesome. You got the
Yeah. So
property, the asset. Wow.
yep. And so let's just say you get someone who's like, hey, do you have a cost segregation calculator or something? Or you're like, hey, I know a guy in Arizona that wants to that can help you out with this. If you sent one of your clients to me on this calculator, it'll automatically send the referral to them if they fill this information out. And at that point, we're getting on a phone call and analyzing their current situation with you and your client.
Actually, Scott, maybe we should define what cost segregation is just for people that don't know.
Okay, so in a commercial sense, so I'm Fred, the nurse practitioner, and I opened a behavioral health practice to help people with their counseling and marriage counseling and everything else. I buy a building for $500,000. It's depreciated over 39 years. It's approximately $11,000 a year. And I'm rounding up on that off the top of my head. I think I did that right.
Okay.
All right.
So
then I say, well, every 3 to 5 years, I would like to purchase a new office somewhere to expand my practice, because every time I bring on a practitioner, it's another $500,000 of billing, and I'm only paying them $100,000 in salary, and then I'll bonus them out based on production. So what I do is I go to this company, I say, I want to do a cost segregation analysis. That's where they break down the building from this large 39-year property, and they break it into buckets by material in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 15-year increments. So you can get, for example, if I did a cost segregation this calendar year, it's my first year in business with this building, there's a good chance I could bring 30 to 50% of it into this first year, and then the rest of it in a 3, 5, 7, or 15-year increment. So I can offset almost all of my income this year.
Wow. This is really cool.
Yeah.
Man.
So they're very conservative though. Like even though the let's say that you purchase a property for that 500,000, maybe you paid a premium or maybe you're underpaid, they're going to make sure that they don't overstate the value and how much you're going to bring in to that window. Like if you paid that 500, they're going to look at it from that perspective.
It's incredible.
Yeah, some of the audits that we used to get where like the purchase and the appraisal value, the cost seg would be higher than, and so it would flag, right? And so if you're almost guaranteed an audit with a cost segregation, which is fine as long as you have the paperwork, the 3115, and back it up, right? And so they kind of walked me through their process, and it's very thorough. They use the IRS audit technique guide, and I'm sure most of them do, but they went directly to the audit technique guide and showed, hey, here of the 6 methods that we're allowed to use, here's the one we use.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool to partner with them and have that point of contact so you're not guessing.
Let me get this super chat out of the way here. We got one. This is from Homeschool Time. For 519, who do you know that should be subscribed to Super Chad Elkins CPA channel? Thank you for licking the click button. Youth, buy Fixer Upper, own debt free. Well, thank you, Homeschool Time. Okay, I guess, Scott, you definitely got to get your own YouTube channel, if you do want to have a place to podcast or do any of that.
I think probably just use it as like to feed the website and, give people
marketing.
good solid tips with their tax situations. And then you don't want to go too far in the weeds. Like I've been trying to do some research on, I did one of them before, a Q sub. So it's where you have two entities. It's an S corp, and you file for a Q sub to be able to have a holding company and then aggregate the other S corp underneath it. So a lot of times they'll do that for limited liability reasons, and then to if they have multiple locations under the same industry or a different business within the same company, they'll do it. But there's you could go into the weeds with some of it, but at a high level, it'd be cool to talk about reasonable compensation, ordinary necessary expenses. You could, keep it high level and really simple to help people out.
Yeah, reasonable comp. That comes up a lot in my
Hmm.
practice. So for people that don't know, if you elect S corporation status for your company, it basically means you file a separate tax return, and you're not 100% of your net income is not subject to self-employment taxes. But the IRS says, well, you still have to pay some self-employment taxes, and that's or payroll taxes, same
Hmm.
thing. Medicare, Social Security, that type of stuff. So you have to pay yourself a salary in order to meet that requirement. But I don't know. I've always felt like they keep it intentionally vague. Like there's nothing in the IRC that's like it has to be this percentage or whatever. It's just kind of vague.
Yeah, it's a rule of thumb. Yeah, I mean, if what I would say is, as long as it's a nurse practitioner, will use the same analogy, makes 120,000 at one of the larger healthcare systems,
Yeah,
where they have 50 hospitals and all of these outpatient locations, and they're $1 billion company, and they can pay you 120,000. Well, when you open up your practice and you're only making 250,000, your ordinary salary isn't going to be the 120. It's going to
right.
be right around 60, roughly, I would say.
Oh, this is a great point by Monero
Yeah.
Mateo. He also started his own
Okay,
practice
cool.
a couple years ago. So he's up and running. You can do the backdoor salary on Schedule C. So if the compensation isn't high enough, that the year is over,
Mm.
you didn't pay yourself enough salary, and you're worried about it. Yeah, you can.
1099 yourself.
Yeah, you can throw salary there on Schedule C. So I mean, you're the expert with what the IRS would look for, but I would imagine they'd be okay with that. You
So,
put it
so when
in.
you get an adjustment like that, where they take nothing but owner's draws, and you have to
Yeah,
reclass, say 50% of it, that's all you
yeah.
do. You just plug it on Schedule C. The
Plug it on
government
Schedule C.
recovers. Yeah,
Yeah.
instead of doing some craziness within the audit system. So you'll just 1099 the Schedule C, make the adjustment, move forward. And if your revenue agent's cool, they'll waive the penalties as long as they're paying up front.
Right, because I mean, at the end of the day, you did what you were supposed to do, just kind of in a roundabout way.
Here's my thing though: if they keep the money, if they don't draw it, and they keep the money in the business for operating expenses, you could have a goose egg in that owner's salary, in those officer salary lines.
I mean, yeah, if you're not taking distributions and it's just sitting there, I don't have anybody who does that. Everybody just needs to take their money to really
Right.
live. But that's an interesting point. I guess if it's just sitting there, there's really no need for compensation. So,
Yeah, I mean, if they're trying to expand and grow, or they only took $5,000 in the year,
mhm.
but they left it in the rest of it in the business. I mean, in that case, I would say it's reasonable because they didn't.
What's well, what some people do is they pay themselves bonuses at the end of the year to get their salary up like that.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't run into any problems with that. That clients that do it. I guess it all goes on the W-2, but I've always wondered, is that copacetic with the IRS? Like, do they not like that? Or
I mean, whether it's all at the end or over 26 pay periods, it all goes to the same place.
same place?
Yeah,
Yeah, Nick is Steve. It's fine to take a $10,000 salary and a $90,000 distribution. What's so funny is one of my good friends is a dentist. He has his own practice, and God, he's just like a cowboy with this stuff. He's been paying
yeah,
himself $20,000 a year in salary, even though he draws close to 200 in distributions, or maybe a little bit less. He's been doing this for God 25 years, and nothing's happened. I mean,
yeah.
shouldn't they flag that?
I mean, we had talked about this when I came in. I was like,
That's right.
if you had your data nerds in the back of the IRS, run a query and target S corporations, 1120Ss with the officer compensation less than 100,000.
Hmm.
Flag all of those for audit. The IRS would make
Hmm.
a killing.
Yeah, it's. I mean, do they have they probably don't have the manpower to even do these types of things these days. But it sounds like they're
Right.
calling people back.
Calling people
Um,
back, but at the same time, I mean, if they got rid of a lot of IT folks as well. So if you
mhm.
don't have the IT folks setting the parameters for those random audits, or for the to set the thresholds correct, then you're never going to find this.
God, are they going to upgrade the technology at some point? I mean, they really, really need to.
They always say they're going to. but the differential scores that they get, I mean,
Mhm.
those are the data and the coding nerds with the proprietary language on the back end of the IRS, since it's 55 years old or whatever it might be. That computer scoring, that diff score, discriminant function system, I think is
Mhm.
what they call it. When Janet Yellen came out and said, "Hey, we're going to target everyone over $400,000 a year," that's what they do. They go to the back of the system, they code it, so it says any C corp, S corp, partnership, individual C, Schedule C, above 400,000 with certain deductions is going to be flagged. And so when you have a
Mhm.
phantom loss sitting in depreciation of 300 or $500,000, right,
Yeah.
on $400,000 of income, it's going to flag. And that's where your
Mhm.
diff score is going to be through the roof. And then you're going to get assigned to a RA.
Mm.
And then you find out that they did a cost segregation. And
Mm.
then at that point, it's a no change and you move on with life.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Man.
that's what I mean. Like those diff scores, the way they program the system to do those audits,
Mhm.
that's what I'm talking about, where someone would go in there and say any S corporation with officers compensation less than 100 grand, flag it.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I see this way more than I would like. I've had to basically browbeat some of my clients into
Mm-hmm.
paying themselves higher salaries because, look, I'm glad that you're making money, but if you're taking your 100K of distributions, but you didn't pay yourself a salary or you paid yourself, $5,000 on W-2, this is going to lead to problems.
So you go to your 7203, and when they overdraw their basis, then you're going to recognize it as a gain.
As a gain, yeah, if you take out
Yeah.
more than your basis, that goes on Schedule D. Goes
So
straight from the K1. Yep.
you got to watch that.
Yeah, and it's happened. Some people have gotten caught with that. And I remember one of them was like, "Well, why didn't you warn me?" And I said, "I did warn you. You have
Yeah.
to be drawing a salary. You can't do it this way."
They have no
And
idea what you're explaining to them when you're explaining it. They're like, okay, it's not going to happen to me. And then it does. And then
and then they
but
get mad at me, even though
mhm.
what I love it is I'll do this over email, and I love digging up an email from a year earlier and being like, "Do you see what I told you there in big red letters? Pay
Yeah.
yourself a damn salary."
I was going to say, Nick, Steve, and some of the other practitioners in here, save those emails, like
Yeah,
PDF them and drop them in share file and
yeah.
save all those communications.
Yeah, yeah, for real. That's how you can get them to shut up the quickest. Is just be like, "Look, this is what I told you on October 1st, 2024. Now is it
Yeah.
still my fault?" And then it's crickets.
My and like Nick is Steve right there. That's what flag. But the 7203 would be like, okay, do you even have the basis for that? And then how much are you going to pay in a gain coming through?
Mhm.
And then if they
Yep.
see that from a K1, I mean, depending on how they're coding the back end, I mean, it could flag.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you not only do you have a personal audit, you have your S corp audit. So
Ooh.
they'll expand into that K1. And here's the other thing I was going to bring up too. According to the people I know, SBSE and LB&I are going to combine, and so you're going to have bifurcated audits where SBSE auditors are going to be only focusing on that 1040,
Mm.
and then you're going to have two other auditors ripping your business apart from
Wow.
LB&I.
What do those stand for? Just so you
Large
know.
business and international, and small
Mhm.
business and self-employed. And
Oof.
so the rumor has it that's what's going to happen. They're going to come together, and then so it's more focused and more thorough, and you can get these turned around quicker instead of having one auditor expand into, like we had one 1040 with 31 K1s.
Really? Ooh.
How does one auditor go into 31 different businesses? And so what they're going to
Yeah.
do is say SBSE focus the 1040. We have the LB&I guys that are going to come in who are subject matter experts anyway. When we need someone to talk about, active and passive income coming through on
Mhm.
K1, we're going to reach out to those guys.
Mhm.
So making sure that an 8825 isn't being booked to box one.
Yep.
Yeah. Offsetting ordinary income.
That's passive.
Right.
8825
Yeah.
rental.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The
No, no,
P&L
no, no.
for,
It's okay. It's
yeah,
okay.
P&L for a rental property, basically.
So I kind of have something against people who I'm saying I avoid them, but I try not to work on people who have a lot of rental properties because they're trying to classify themselves as real estate professionals to me, but they don't even come close to meeting that requirement. So this is in previous years. They would get so pissed at me. They'd have these rental losses that I can't do anything with because their AGI was too high for them to be effective for that year because it's passive, on form 8582. And so I explained this to them and they do the whole, oh, I read on the internet that, so because I made some repairs on my own, I get to treat it as active and not passive, or they were using the wrong terms. And then I fire them at that point because they're trying to get me to do something illegal.
Yeah.
And that's that. Yeah.
And then Monero Mateo, he just said class excess distributions to a loan, but if they're not actually going to pay it back at market rate, then that's going to get reclassed. That's going to get flagged as well. So just be careful on that.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I see it all the time where a loan is sitting there year after year and it never changes. Versus yeah. Or there's no documentation from the outset. So let's just say it was a loan from 5 years ago.
Nothing to back it up.
Nothing to back it up. Saying it was a normal and ordinary loan, right?
Yeah.
A to and from interest rate that's at market rate, and then 2, a payback schedule.
Yeah. My favorite are the shareholder loans that people just vomit up to me occasionally, each year. Like, yeah, that's not going to be suspicious. Yeah, you have to set up a note. Yeah, that's true. It's always good to do that. Always, in every situation.
Yeah.
So, man, it's always fun to have you on because I can talk shop. I mean, I don't even know if people listening understand some of the stuff that we're talking about, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun, man. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot.
Well, start your own channel, man. I'll go on yours. You keep coming on.
It's
mine.
Fun, yeah.
Talk shit.
I wanna get the corner of that office set up, dude. So it's kind of cool. Like you and Clary have cool little spots, man. You guys have done well with your spots, man.
Clary does. I put a little light in the office here. There's a treadmill behind me that I'm probably going to use later because it's 99 degrees outside. So
yeah, plus the humidity, right? You're still in Chicago right now.
No, I'm actually down in I'm in Texas. I'm in Fort
even
Worth.
Worse.
It is just I don't know how people do it here. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's hot where you are, but it's no humidity, right? It's just warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're supposed to get some rain this week from New Mexico, where you're heading to.
Yeah.
All the monsoons kind of come from that direction.
Go there. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, I got a little bit more time. What else you want to chat about in terms of business?
I don't know. What's everyone seeing out there these days? Like, we talked about the private equity before.
Oh, yeah. I've done a couple of streams on the private equity. My God.
And so coming back in, man, like these larger, I have a good friend who's at a good size firm here locally. She's the tax director. She's like you, dude, super smart, been in the business a long time. Like we nerd out a ton. And PE, there's private equity firms coming into these larger entities, these $10 to $15 million a year firms, and they're just saying, hey, come merge with us. And there's other ones who get bought out, and then the PE companies are screwing it all up, and then the original owners are getting paid to come back in, and so they end up double dipping. The other part of it too, like you were saying earlier, these businesses, man, the customer service is lacking. So if you can be half-ass on being on time, being responsive, you're going to make a killing, and word of mouth is going to.
Honestly, man, that's how I did it. Like that was the success. I got myself on the internet with good reviews, Yelp, Google. Frankly, all I had to do was just respond to emails within a very reasonable amount of time, either same day or it could even be the next day. Nobody else was doing that back then. A lot of these boomers have retired, since 2014 when I started, but that was what made it work. Even if I can't answer the question, it's just emailing them saying, I got your email. I heard you. I'm busy today, or I need to look into this a little bit. I'll get back to you tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
honestly the secret sauce. I think people still aren't doing this.
Yeah.
Just leave people on red for, weeks.
Weeks and weeks. Yeah. And they don't hear anything. There's a big Allstate agency here locally I worked with. I got her caught up over a 3-year period, did the first time abatement for that first year. We paid the
I
penalties,
love those.
got her on a payment plan on her individual side. She spent like 900 grand on the agency and then was just focused on keeping the customer base. That way she gets those residuals and keeps the business rolling forward. And she did a good job doing that, but like something's got to fall off. Right.
Right.
And part of that was the tax filings and then getting everything caught up. But long story short, I reached out to her. I was like, Hey, would love to work with you again. Can you, and then I even asked her for a quote to see if she can beat Hiscox insurance. And she's like, yeah, let me see what I can do. I'll have my people run it and all that stuff. And then she wrote back in a separate email and said, hey, I would love to work with you again. We can meet. I've been with the guy the last 2 years, blah, blah, blah. I was really sad when he left because I wanted to have one point of contact for my taxes and I could always, reach out to you and things like that. So I think there was some disappointment there. So it's kind of trying to, do that customer service recovery. And then for me, this is going to be the legacy move. I have a 12, a 9, and a 5-year-old. Maybe they get into the business when they're 18 and work their way through school and all that stuff. So
that'd be incredible if you start bringing your kids on.
Like you and your dad, man.
Yeah, because I worked with my dad. With the book and everything.
And back in like 2014 and 15, when you and Clary were kind of dialoguing initially. You would do like a random podcast, like you brought that up, and it was always in the back of my mind. It'd be cool to have something legacy with this.
Yeah, I guess my dad was so incredible because when your son or daughter comes on board, theoretically, it's going to be different than just having a normal employee because you're really invested. My dad was never annoyed when I needed help. Like when I had questions and when I was just like, because it took a while for me to get some of the more complicated things, but that's what made it so worthwhile was that I never felt like I wasn't getting 100% of the guidance that I needed. And it made such a difference in like getting up and running. So I'll admit I got lucky in that respect.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. We don't do the books anymore just because, first there was the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, and then there was COVID. It's like my dad retired almost 9 years ago. So
you bring on Mr. Texas. What about Mr. Elkins, man?
Come on, dude. I thought about that. Every time I'm like, Dad, you should come on my show. He's like, I'm retired. I haven't done any taxes except my own since 2016. I said, who cares? You can come. My dad likes Clary because Clary's, visited a few times on his way out west. And my mom's like, oh, he's so nice. I'm like, Mom, he's an asshole. He's not nice.
The only professional one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be great. So let me see. We're basically at the end of August. You're saying in September things will be set up. Are you going to?
Yeah. So I've got some stuff coming on the 9/15 deadline that I'll be knocking out. Here's a nerd question, dude.
Sure.
What's the furthest back you've gone on amending a business return? Ooh. I've got a weird situation where there's one from 21 where they booked the income at a restaurant with no expense because.
Oh, so this was in, I think, 2017 or 2018 when this came up. This was a client I shouldn't have taken because I was just taking, anybody. They screwed up a C Corp. So a C Corp.
Oh, wow.
From 2010. So I didn't even have that software on my computer. So I basically had to call, I work with ATX, CCH Walters Kluwer. And I just basically had to say, look, can you give me a download for 2010? Because this was 7 years later. I never should have accepted that assignment because of that client, because that was just such a pain in the dick. And the program wasn't as good back then. And it was just a nasty amendment.
I just don't understand how a practitioner would, you show a 1099K for $380,000 of income. and yet you're
Yeah.
going to file it without expenses. I mean, at least throw the old like even numbers in there and give them something, right?
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at least it'll flag, and then the RAs can go summons the credit card statements and everything else if you don't
Right.
have the backup for it. But
Right.
you shouldn't just say, hey, you ran a business, made 380 with no expenses. Like they didn't even put the I don't think they put the charges down for the fees.
This was 4 years ago, you said,
4 years
2021?
ago. Yeah, it was a final return, man. I was like,
Oh.
what the fuck? Like, how do you do that?
I've actually my approach is I don't like to do amended returns, period, unless, they're already a client of mine. When things get slow in like, May, June, July, because I'm always getting requests from people. They're like, oh, I got a CP 2000 notice. What do I do? I have $13,000. And you know how it is. The IRS never
Right.
includes the basis. When they sell stock, they just
Yeah.
have the principal, what they got. And so I do the amended return. I say it'll cost you X amount. Give me the brokerage statement. I'll fix up. I'll throw in the basis. The worst is when there is no basis and you have to try to figure out because it's not reported.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just something I do when I have nothing else to do. But otherwise, I hate doing amended returns.
Yeah, I hate them too because you have to rebuild them from scratch,
Yeah,
and so
you
you're
do.
manually keying in, and a lot of them
Yeah.
are overrides, and then the software will throw an override error, and then you have to override the error, and it's just
And there's so many moving parts that when you do override something, there's a chance that it didn't calculate correctly someplace else. So
right.
yeah,
And
amendments are just,
yeah, we have a flow through button, and so you can trace it back
Mhm.
to the line it flows through. If it doesn't
Yep.
flow through, you better know where it's supposed to flow through to be able to check if it's something's thrown out. But and then that's assuming the original return was correct.
Exactly, which it almost never is. That's another thing. They already did the return wrong, and sometimes even the IRS notices don't catch it. So it's like,
Right.
well, I'm going to add this, this, and this to it as long as I'm amending.
Yep.
Yeah. So a lot of
wild,
people,
wild world, man.
well, people ask me because I only do tax. I don't do bookkeeping and payroll, and I get that question all the time. What do you do when it's not tax season for work? Like, what do you do when it's not busy? And that's kind of my answer, or nothing, or I won't do anything.
Yeah. I'm trying to model this one similar.
Yeah.
Maybe provide a little consulting here and there, but like not be so in the weeds with the rest of it.
I'm going to go back to your services here. So tax.
Yeah. So I'm trying to format a agreement with a couple bookkeeping services that are solid.
You got to have a solid bookkeeper
Yeah.
or a few resources. And I have that, Mateo's was doing some bookkeeping. I'd be like, man, I need your help. This client needs a bookkeeper. So yeah, man, I can even recommend some. You'll be able to find some out there, but
yeah, if you already have good bookkeepers that are looking to grow, man, let me know.
I absolutely will, because they really make or break your tax season. There's nothing worse than crappy bookkeeping when you're under the gun in March. Okay, yeah. So yeah, payroll services, ADP, sales tax services. I used to do that. I don't do that anymore because
yeah, a lot of that's done through ADP, but if there's some cleanup. So here in Arizona, if I were to pick up another business, right, and they had some sales tax that they didn't pay for 2 years ago, and they have penalties and interest, the goal there would be a separate engagement. I'm going to get your login to your Arizona TPT, your transaction privilege tax account. I'm going to go pay it, or you're going to go pay it. And then I'm going to fill out the Arizona 290 abatement, and you're going to get your penalties and interest back.
Oh, so, and you had mentioned this earlier about the first time penalty abatement. You can try that. I've had really mixed results with that. They don't always say yes, but sometimes they do.
Yeah. You can do it informally, verbally over the phone, practitioner priority line.
That's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as they haven't done it in the past and they've filed all of their tax returns, that usually works. If there's outstanding circumstances, what's the penalty abatement form?
I've gotten some really
843. Cool. You can send that 843 in separately after the verbal.
Yeah.
That's considered the formal. There's an
Right.
informal and a formal, right? So,
But my favorite is when they just do it on the phone and they hit it's such a relief when they do that. It eliminates
yeah,
paperwork and you get to look like a hero to the client, hey, I
right.
just got your penalties taken out.
Yep.
Illinois never abates penalties for those
Yeah.
that don't know. Yeah, good stuff, man. So yeah, you got some work in the next few weeks. And then of course there's the 10/15 deadline.
Yeah. I've got one C
Um,
Corp and then, yeah,
it's good
coming up.
stuff.
Yeah.
Another super chat real quick from actually one of my clients, Mark Rushton, who I got through Clary actually, because he was watching.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Grox says there's a Chad Elkins who is a sheriff's lieutenant in Caldwell, Texas. Officer of the Year in 2025. Are you moonlighting? You got me, Mark. I may look like a tax accountant by day, but I'm like the dude in that movie, The Accountant. Like, behind the scenes, I'm running around shooting shit, like and solving crime. Yeah.
He's hunting humans.
I'm hunting. The movie Predator came on TV. I think this was last weekend. The girlfriend's like, I don't want to watch that. I'm like, no. This stays on the TV.
Yeah.
Hey, watch this. Yeah. So,
what was the movie we recently saw? The Goods, was it? Do you remember that movie, The Goods? Did you ever see that?
The Goods? I don't know.
It's about the car dealership, and they hire this team to come in. It's a comedy. It's just ridiculously funny, man.
The Goods. I'll write that down real quick.
Yeah. Highly recommended.
Buddy Atham, what's up, dude?
What's happening?
Yeah, so
is he full-time employed now? He used to be on the streams all the time, and now is he like working
a
lot? Or Atham?
Yeah, he's working a lot. He actually has a couple of jobs, so he's one of the busiest dudes out there. So I'm like, man, he's in the chat. Hell yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to be pretty. Just having discussed all this, Scott.
Nick
you got to be.
What
Oh yeah, Nick is Steve. He actually was at H&R Block. Yeah.
It's getting browner.
Yeah, I was gonna. What was I gonna ask you? Shoot, slipped my mind. Oh, I was just kind of. So sometimes when I get into these fall months, I start to get like I don't dread it, but I'm like, little mini busy season again here. Like, are you kind of excited to just go balls to the wall with this, or what do you think?
Yeah, man, I think it's gonna be fun. I miss like the nerd part of it, like similar to talking shop with you.
Yeah.
When you get a question about like, hey, we have the scenario is correct. You have the opportunity to save some money and like plan strategically with these companies. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying to get back out there and market as much as possible.
It'll be quick, man. You'll see. Word of mouth goes really far these days, and I think it was really smart to put your office in that particular setup. I mean, that's kind of ingenious. Actually, I never even thought of that.
Dude, I went on Craigslist, man. I was like, okay, who's got offices, right? Because sometimes they don't want to spend advertising money, and so these bigger real estate companies will just drop like a Craigslist. I found it on there, man. I was like, heck yeah. I reached out to the guy.
It's amazing.
And I met some of his team, and it's a beautiful spot. So yeah.
Edgar, he's using Patriot software.
No. Crosslink.
Or Crosslink. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Crosslink. I was going to your page.
Oh yeah, Crosslink. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the tax software. Patriot, Xero, ADP, those are all, and QuickBooks, the Intuit side. Those are all the accounting and payroll sides.
Here is Scott. I'm putting it in the chat. Here is Scott's website. If y'all want to take a look at it, a website is important. Mine is more. Honestly, I'm so lazy. I haven't updated mine in like 8 years or 9 years. It's basically a virtual business card, but it's important. And frankly, I need to do what Scott does, which is put my online portal link on there. And, I sometimes think of linking my channel, but the stuff Clary and I talk about, let's just say that my clients wouldn't respond well to it, possibly from a political standpoint. So,
Right. Yeah, you got to be careful on that. That's why I was kind of well, depending on where the conversation goes, maybe I'll just do 2-minute videos on 179 or the big beautiful bill or
It's the safe thing to do. Yeah. Like
yeah.
I'll bring Clary on here, and within like a minute or two, he goes, "What? Are you some kind of stupid Democrat?" I'm like, dude, my clientele's in Chicago. They're all Democrats.
Yeah.
So,
But I
yeah.
mean, no matter what side of the fence you're on, both political parties are full of shit.
Yes, very much. There are no
Yeah.
good
So
guys
let's
in
keep
this.
that. No,
Yeah.
no.
Mm-mm.
They're all out for themselves. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, as long as like your family and your close friends, you guys take care of each other.
Yeah.
No one's baking me a turkey at Thanksgiving that I vote for. Right.
Right. They're not coming to
So
save you.
no, you got to look out for number one and take care of the people around you.
And Scott's a veteran, so he's got a big perspective about this.
Yeah, I don't vote.
It's a pointless. Maybe
Right.
in some local elections, but like on a national level, whatever.
But even then, like our city is still kind of corrupt, and like taxes go up and
Tucson?
stuff. Yeah, crazy potholes and the gas tax and the county and just the bonds that they pass, and then nothing ever gets done. The parks have looked the same for 35 years, longer than I've lived here.
God. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got the university there, right? University of
Right.
Arizona. Yeah.
Yep, that's another one, man, where they just shove crap down the students' throats. They overcharge them for what they're paying, what they're getting in an education. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is, dude. It's all everywhere. You just gotta
Yeah.
hope that you can keep your own kids and your family and the people you know at least informed, right?
Absolutely.
As soon as the
Yeah.
kids are 18, I can't do anything, right? You're an adult, and I hope you do well.
Well, I mean, you having this practice, it's like we talked about, maybe it'll draw at least one of them in there.
Yeah, I
And,
hope so.
one of the reasons Clary convinced me to do this channel on my own is because at the end of the day, you can become an EA and you do not have to go to college for this. Like
Right.
it's good to take a couple of courses perhaps so you understand accounting.
I have a master's in accounting. You did the MBA in accounting, all that
I
stuff.
went the stupid MBA route, wasted money.
My undergrad's in finance, so I had to take they call it a bridge course. So I had to do all the undergrad bridge work to get into that program.
Yeah.
So it's almost the same as having two undergrads. But at the same time, what I would say is, having worked in industry and having gone through the education side of it, when you're talking about trying to ensure that balance sheets are correct, when you're dealing with those C corps and making sure the capital accounts are correct, a lot of times you'll see on the 1120 Schedule L, none of that is right.
I've noticed that, man. I kind of called this other accountant out because they were retiring and they sent me the S corps, and I'm looking at that, and none of that was done correctly.
Right.
And the dumbass said to me, "Oh, nobody cares about that," and I'm thinking, the IRS might care about that,
right?
The balance sheet and then the Schedule L and everything.
Yeah. So when you get down into where was it? Schedule L and then M1, M2.
Yeah.
M1, M2 is a lot of times when they're pulling the ordinary dividends, the M1 and M2s typically on those distribution lines and the beginning balances are kind of screwed up. But
yeah, so the M1 and M2, they sort of match what's on the P&L, and you have to explain the differences. But
and the distributions line is never filled out. So
16.
I
think it's line 16. Yeah, I know, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? Because if anybody looks into this, like an auditor or something, that's not going to look good.
No. So, but having those, like, understanding how equity, the roll forwards need to be right and where they show up. I mean, the education does help. Having context of what those accounts are. I mean, you can get it. You can pass. I think you could pass the EA with zero context if you can memorize information correctly and some basic rules. You can get through it. same with a CPA exam, but then you need to have that context, right? And
Yeah.
some of that is education, some of it's experience, a mix of both.
Experience. You
Yeah.
got to have experience when it comes to doing tax. And that's why I say, look, if you can't go anywhere else, H&R Block will give you experience, and they do need people.
Yeah.
So 1 second, Scott. Hold on. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, no, we'll be done. All right. Scott, I got another 10 minutes or so. So,
Okay, yeah.
guys, if you have any questions, let's get them in now, because, I mean, we'll definitely have Scott back again. But for now, we're here. So if anybody wants to
What's
ask
Nick
anything.
Steve doing these days? He passed the EA. He took a season off, it looks like, and then
He's
decided...
having a rough go of Nick Steve. Before I say anything, give me a thumbs up that I can, because he and I email each other a lot.
Okay.
Nick Steve, if you want me to explain what's going on, I will. But I can say he does have his EA, and he did work at H&R Block. I think it was like two years ago, maybe. Yeah. So he has had a hard time breaking into the industry somewhere, because he's kind of in the middle of nowhere in a certain state, and he has no choice but to be there. Like, a lot of people say, just go to a big city. His circumstances are he can't do that right now.
Right.
So
Similar to me, I can. I have kids, right?
Right.
So,
yeah. You can't just up and move.
No.
So he's had kind of a rough go of it, finding work in the field again, because the H&R Block offices where he is are just so spread out. And so it didn't make much sense for him to just, commute there.
Yeah.
So he's still trying to get in the industry. It sounded, you worked at there 2024 and 2023. Yep. For the 2023 season. So yeah, but last I heard, he's got an interview with an accounting firm. So
good.
Crossing my fingers for him.
Yeah. And so, Nick, if you can, when you interview, be open to not just tax, but the client. What do they cast? The client services.
Client service, like.
Yeah, so there's like tax accounting firms here. They break it out into client services department and then tax. And so the client services will take care of all of your payroll and bookkeeping. And then the tax will just focus on taking the book to tax and then filing the return for that partner, right? So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if he's flexible, the client accounting services, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, there are some places that are looking for that type of talent. It's just, I mean, like we've talked about, his location, within 2 weeks of working there, 90. Oh, so you picked it up pretty quickly. Oh, we got a question here from Adam Nash. I'm currently an auditor with the CPA in Buffalo. What is your opinion on the AI and, frankly, the bigger issue of outsourcing, the major push by regional Big Four firms? I'm not really worried about AI, Scott, but the outsourcing is not great. I don't like that trend at all. Private equity, that's one of the first things they do, is they outsource. The quality goes down. I mean, that's people's sensitive data going out to India. I mean, I don't like it.
So what I've seen with some of these larger bookkeeping services, they're going to charge you $4,000 a month, and then they're going to hire $9 an hour Filipino.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
so they're just raking it in.
Yeah. Even some of the firms here, RNA, CPAs, HBL, Clifton Larson Allen, Beach Fleischman, these larger regionals, they're going to get a huge retainer with these larger companies. And then they're just going to outsource it to Team Up, Bean Ninjas, and some of these other companies that it's like a secondary and tertiary kick where they just outsource everything. You're paying for a team and they have one person overseas somewhere doing it for $9 an hour. So
yeah,
these firms are going to start making sure their margins aren't getting hit.
I really hate the trend. But I mean, I'll tell you this story. Well, I'll just tell you about my buddy. My buddy is one of these guys that has like 8 full-time jobs. Like you read about this on Reddit. So he's got like 5 W-2 jobs and a few 1099 jobs. And what
Yeah.
he does is he outsourced all of the work that he's supposed to be doing to India. And he
No
is
way.
just he did it. Yeah, he's still doing it. And I'm just like, damn, man, he tells me he's conservative, he's pro-American, everything. I'm thinking, man, it's kind of hypocritical. I don't like that. But he is raking in the dough and laughing all the way to the bank. Now, one of his
Yeah.
W-2 found out he was quintuple dipping like that and fired him recently. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a risk, but not to say they can't do good work, right? So
They
that's
can
the
do
other
good
part of it.
work.
If
Yeah.
I can't find, I mean, we're all in the business of making money. So
Right.
I'm not shaming them for outsourcing, but there's people here in the US that could do the work as well. But
When there's hypocrisy involved, that's when I don't mind shaming. It's like, look, man, I'm just trying to get by. I'm trying to, that's not what this situation
right.
is. It's greed. And
Yeah.
yeah, so but you know what? I've had other people tell me that are, politically conservative. They say this is the only way I can be competitive, in the
Right.
industry. So the trend is bad. I don't like it.
And then AI, you can't even use any of these AI tools to say, give me even using like a straight line. Like if you put 5 assumptions and gave them a budget, it's still going to spit out wrong numbers.
Oh yeah.
Like I've
I'm
played
not
with
worried
it.
about AI.
No, AI's no.
At least not yet. See, do we have any other questions here? I don't think so. What do you got going on the rest of the day?
Today, just we have my oldest daughter's softball team. They're doing some stuff to get ready for a travel tournament this next weekend. They do these clips, and so they'll decorate these little like clothesline clips.
Yeah.
And then they go around and you're clipping people's backpacks and purses, and it'll say like, "I hope you have a good day," or I don't know. They just draw little hearts on them and all that stuff. So they're gonna have a little get together. I'll probably take the other 2 swimming or something like that to try to get them tired.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, my son's been waking up at 4 a.m, man. We're all like,
why?
Just I don't know. I think his neurons are firing. He's
How
a
old is he?
Spanish 3.5.
Oh.
He speaks Spanish and English, and so I think his both languages coming together, and like his language is just exploding as far as like being able to reply and hold conversations. And so I think his neurons are firing, growing, just everything's just going nuts in his brain right now. So he's up and ready to go at 4 a.m. I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
4 a.m. Jeez.
Yeah.
Nope. All right. Why don't we go ahead and call it? Scott, thank you so much.
Yeah, sounds good.
I've got, I'll put your website in the comments one more time.
Cool. Thank you.
I think it's awesome what you're doing. I mean, you're just kind of going at this full speed, and yeah.
So Nick and Steve, one more thing. If you're still on, maybe.
Yeah,
so all week this last week, I tagged along with the ADP rep. I went to every business she went to, and it worked out. So
yeah.
At least to have the conversations and get to know the business owners. It's hard to go in there blind. And so if there's a relationship already there and you're being introduced as a reputable partner, then at that point you're in. It's a single point of contact. ADP is running the payroll, for example, and then they're introducing you as a CPA, EA, whatever it is, as a partner with them that they work with. Then there's no getting to know you. You're not going in blind with a card and saying, "Hey, my name's Scott. I'm here to sell you something." It's more of a, let's see how we can help them out.
This is one of the reasons. So I've done a stream about this. Some people, when they're first starting, they just go straight to working with financial planners and financial advisors, which that can be an okay way to, accumulate clients. It's just, when I did that stream, I said, I always felt like the financial planners were getting more out of the relationship than us.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.
But you gotta find that in one way or the other.
You
or
gotta
if you
find
know
it, yeah.
if there's 5 businesses locally, go have breakfast there and get to know who those people are. So when you walk in there, it's Fred or it's Nick, it's Scott, it's Chad, and then eventually the conversation will come up.
Yeah.
And then you might have
Everybody,
to fake it till you make it too. You might, well, I run my own accounting firm. You might not have a client in the world.
everybody always asks, no
Yeah.
matter what the situation is, at a bar, a party, at a wedding, you know, someone will ask, so what do you do? And then you're just kind of like, well, I'm glad you asked. And,
Yep.
and that's
Drop
how
it.
it goes.
Yeah. And
Man,
even Nick, yeah, you got to get at least get a website, build it on your own. You can do it fairly affordable, and then try to reach out and become a partner with ADP.
Oh,
Say,
he's
hey,
still trying to get more experience. Yeah.
You're always trying to get more experience. There's going to be something you never know all the time.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a first time in tax. I mean, the code, it's just too broad.
Right.
So I would just fake it till you make it, man. Tell stories.
Here's what I would say. My dad and others would calm me down this way. There's no human being alive that knows every single rule in the IRC. Like the nobody. So if you don't know something, just, you know, look it up.
Yeah.
See how it's treated.
That's what you're going to have to do anyway. It's an autodidact industry.
It is. I'm going to answer these last two questions very quickly because I got to go. We got to go somewhere.
No worries.
Adam, how do you stay on top of your CPE? I just do it in my off season. You know, I do a lot of it over the summer. Sometimes in the winter before tax season starts, I'll just get in my hours. And then Red Robin asks, how do you build client inefficiency with getting information in the final bill? I just raise it up. I just raise it. And if they give me lip, I'm like, do you know how difficult it was for me to finally get your tax return completed this year? And so then they either can piss off and I never have to deal with them again, or they accept the new price and then they're better the next year. So that's what I do. All right. Well, Scott, let's definitely do this again because we're getting some good feedback. So let's do it again.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks, Chad. Have a good
got
weekend.
it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Bye.
Bye.